Hi everyone, thanks for joining. I'm doing another melt and pour soap tutorial. You could do this with cold process as well, at least for the design part if it's something you like. But my inspiration this week was little succulents, and I wanted to make them look like they were in little pots with a little bit of dirt and stuff on top. So I'm going to use my cupcake mold for this so I could get that pot shape. But the first thing I'm doing is cutting down all my white soap base, which I am using a shea butter soap base. And then I melted it down and got it ready. I'm also using this mold that's the little succulent mold from Wilton's, and it's really good for the succulent shape, or you can make flowers, whatever you want to do with it. So now that this base is melted, I'm going to go ahead and color it. I'm also using the white tea fragrance oil from Candle Science. I'm a little bit obsessed with this. It is kind of a floral fragrance. Now to color these soaps orange, I'm using Summer Crush from Nurture Soap. I love using their micas. I recommend them if you do melt and pour soap just because they come in little sample sizes and they're fairly cheap pricing, especially if they're having a sale. I also used the electric orange because I thought this pink wasn't quite the color I wanted. I did want a little bit more like a terracotta color. I just wasn't able to get it to come through the way I wanted. I also tried, I think, copper penny on some of the pots to get it like a different color or a different shade. Overall, I think they came out to be about the same color no matter what I did. They were just like variants of orange and tan. So either way, it kind of got the idea started where the orange little clay pots were the right color. If you know a better color to use, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Now, I was using my temp gun because I know a lot of you have said that you wanted to know what temp I'm melting soaps at and stuff like that. I was just putting these in at around 120 degrees, well, a little bit more than that, 128 I think was what it was, to kind of get it to the right temperature. A lot of times I don't pay attention for it, especially on a design like this where I'm just kind of getting the base set. Once those were all melted, I went ahead and I used this mold, and I wanted to use some pigments and kind of just splash them down into the mold themselves. I didn't want to fully incorporate or mix them because succulents have like those little spots where the tips of their leaves kind of change colors, at least on some of them. So I thought it would be fun to kind of just dust the mold with the mica powder, and I'm mostly using the big shapes just because I thought those were the best one for the succulent pots. I went ahead and made a little bit or a few little ones just to kind of get an idea or see what I liked best with the succulent soap design. Now, as far as coloring the full succulent, I went ahead and used High Society and Shamrock Green, I forget what it's called, something like that, to color the actual succulents. I thought this was the perfect shade of green for succulents. It also looked nice in the shea butter, but I used my clear glycerin. Now, once this was at about 133 degrees, I went ahead and poured it into the molds. You could probably wait till it is a little bit cooled down if you want. The reason I kind of, this one measured out the temp is because I was concerned that the mica might move around too much, but honestly I really didn't have any trouble with it at all. So you could probably pour it in the mold at any temperature you like. After I let this sit for about an hour or so, I went ahead and popped them out, and I love the way that the mica kind of just dusted on there. It does come off a little bit if you touch it, a lot, or you rub it, but for the most part it's going to stay in place. It shouldn't brush off too easy. It should stay on the soap. Now, I also just wanted to show a close-up shot of how much I left on these little soap molds so you guys can see. One is a little bit deeper because I didn't want to melt down more base, but there is a little bit of room on top for these, and I'm just going to go ahead and score them down before I do the dirt layer. The dirt layer was actually a lot of fun. I melted down more clear glycerin. I used one of my activated charcoal soap blocks. If you would like to buy one, there's a link down in the description below. But this has activated charcoal in it, and I made it into a soap block so it doesn't clump up in my soap, and it makes it easier to melt down. Once all of that was melted down, I went ahead and added coffee grounds to it, and I use used coffee grounds. So I was showing the temp again here. It's about 138. And if you don't know how to do that, you just kind of use your coffee grounds. You dry them out. Make sure they're 100% dry because you don't want them molding in your soap. Or you can use fresh coffee grounds. Either one will work fine. I'm also using a little bit of the pink Himalayan soap or salt because I wanted something super exfoliant, and I just wanted to give this like a gravelly, gritty kind of texture. So you can see that coming along. Now this kind of starts to thicken up a bit and cool down once I've added both of those in. And we're at 124. So this is ideal to start pouring, and it does thicken up very quickly. So you can either pour them all at once and have a little bit smoother texture like this first one here. I'm adding glitter too because I love glitter on everything. Or you can wait till it starts to harden up a little bit, and then they start to get a little bit grittier, as you can see how that was starting to set up. When I got done with these, liked the glittery or the gritty texture. I'm not sure what you guys would like, but go ahead and leave a comment below of what you like better, the gritty or the smooth look. And you can see the salt clumps in there. Again, I think it's fine. I think it enhances the look. I wasn't concerned about it. I actually kind of love the way it turned out. So I just tried to make sure I got as much soap as I could into the actual molds there and just kind of pushed it down. On the last one that I poured, you could tell that it was kind of loose. When I pulled it out of the mold, it adhered fine and it didn't pop off or anything. So don't worry about that when you're pouring these. And this is the final product. So we've got the nice terracotta color at the bottom, some gritty, glittery sand, dirt, whatever you want to call it, and then a cute little succulent on top. I absolutely love this design idea. I think I'll definitely be doing it again. I'll probably give these away to friends and family too to try it out to see how they like the texture at the top. I'm really excited for that part, and I think it's going to be my favorite part of the soap. So I just want to thank you guys all for joining and watching again. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't forget to let me know down low in the comment section. Give my channel a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more soap tutorials like this.